Lamar Jackson-ish.
Right.
And so you need a guy like Ed Oliver, who showed how big of a piece he was to this defense, to be out there to make some plays.
Yeah, I'm right with you, Ryan, on this run game, because it was kind of lost in the Bills' win that until the very end of the game, they were getting gashed on the ground, and Oliver was so instrumental at the end in forcing the fumble and getting some tackles. But that Ravens Russia-looking outside zone run game week 1 against Pittsburgh, the Jets offense, and the tape, man. Missed tackles, out-gapped, out-leveraged, guys completely misdiagnosing where the run was. The Bills really have to clean that up. Otherwise, I think this Jets offense is going to be harder to stop than many people thought.
Yeah, when you looked at the Jets offense, that was the offense we've been waiting to see. That was the Breece Hall we've been looking for since he was drafted out of Iowa State, and now you add Justin Fields to that. And some of that quarterback run that, quite frankly, they didn't show in the preseason. I felt like it got Justin in the rhythm. They were able to move the pocket in the pass game. And when you saw what he did by scrambling to throw, I think it's going to put a ton of pressure on the Buffalo Bills in this defense. And this is going to be one of those games, at least in my opinion, that ends up being a lot closer than it looked when the schedules were made in the offseason.
I mean, I think all of us see the possibility of an upset alert, and yet when you look at the picks that we all made, we made the Bills. But here's our twisted logic. There's the gong. We ruined week 1 for so many teams. So I think, Mina, this gives the Jets a chance. What do you think?
So we didn't talk about the Bills' offense. That's why I'm picking the Bills to win. I think Josh Allen is going to move the ball.
Hey, Gina, exactly. It's not that the Jets can't do all of the things we said the Jets can do. It's just that Josh Allen and the Bills can do a little bit more on offense. I think this game is close, but I believe when you have the best player on the field, and in a lot of instances the best player in all of the NFL, they find ways to make plays when it matters most.
Yeah, definitely some hope, though, in the start of the Aaron Glenn era. Justin Fields as quarterback.
Thank you.
We were talking about running back. We didn't know what you can't read your mind. Maybe we should. Just getting started on
swag wave over here. I'm doing the swag wave.
Yeah, RC.
Thank you, RC. Thank you, man.
RC and Mina carried the show. I just want you to know. And now that you're finally at LSU, weigh in.
Just blame it on me, Hannah. Blame it on me. I'm not the type to snitch. Just blame it on me.
No, we're just teasing you. I'm confident it was someone else's fault. Absolutely confident. But we do want to get your thoughts on last night, what you saw from the Packers.
Yeah, what I loved so much was that they still featured Josh Jacobs, even with the numbers that Jordan Love and these wide receivers were able to put up. And you would think that throughout the course of this game that they found something against the Washington Commanders, and they would have stuck with trying to push the ball downfield. But Josh Jacobs and a heavy dosage of him, I think, helped this entirety of this offense. But it talks about balance. I still like that Matt LaFleur likes to run the football even when having success in the pass game, because if you watch that game, you start to wear on people as it goes along. And Josh Jacobs is that battering ram, that offensive line start leaning. In turn, you get people to start walking up near the line of scrimmage, and then Jordan Love is finding wide receivers wide open. So it was an element. Y'all know I love the run game, and I know Jordan Love put up 290. But I still love the fact that there was 20-plus rushes out of the backfield for Josh Jacobs.
Micah Parsons continues to impact that defense. What do you think about the chance of thank you, Jerry?
Yeah, it makes me god-awful sick. It really disturbs me that I had to listen to that on Amazon Prime, and my dog Andrew Whitworth sitting next to him all glistening and gleaming about how happy he is for Micah. I'm happy for Micah too. I'm just not happy for my franchise getting rid of him. But anyway, if I was the Green Bay Packers fans, I would say thank you, Jerry, because he is absolutely wrecking football games. And I know people going to look at the numbers, and I know they're going to talk about only a half sack, but you look at the pressures, you look at how everybody around him is elevating their level of play and playing a little bit more free. on that defensive side, and this is the reason why the hype train has started with Green Bay as far as being contenders.
Yeah, they were just swarming on defense. It felt like everybody was everywhere. All right, so the Lions look to bounce back from their Week 1 loss to the Packers when they welcome their former OC Ben Johnson back to Detroit. Bears, of course, also 0-1. When Johnson was the OC in Detroit last season, they led the NFL in points per game, but they only managed 13 points in Week 1. Nonetheless, Dan Campbell actually guaranteed a win in this one. Here is Amon-Ra St. Brown.
But as soon as Ben walks in there, we're booing him. I don't give a we all booing him. Like,
yeah, he said it's gonna be lit. I'm not gonna lie. And I'm here for it for sure.
I already know Ben. What he's. I just want to be a fly on the wall in his meeting room, bro. Like, how is he as a head coach? Like, Ben, that is not you, dog. Like, I know you. Like, stop acting like this, Ben.
If there's one thing the Lions did better than anybody else with Ben Johnson at OC, that was bouncing back since Week 9 of 2022. They won 10 straight games following a loss. They've scored twice as many points per game as their opponents. But hey, really, that doesn't matter at all, because on Sunday, Ben Johnson is on the other sideline. John Morton's debut as OC did not go well. They lost so many coaches on really both sides of the ball, not just the coordinators, but other coaches. RC, did we underestimate the impact of that?
No, I believe we did, because we kind of attribute that entire culture to Dan Campbell and the way he's able to communicate his message. But what we don't think about is the fact that Dan Campbell talks to the team in the morning, and for the rest of the time, you're with your units. And we looked at the X's and O's of losing Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn, and not the fact that now seeing these men as head coaches, they understand accountability, they understand effort, they understand the ability to galvanize a locker room. And when you can disseminate that message throughout your rooms, your meeting rooms, your individual rooms, all of those things is important. So it wasn't about just what Dan Campbell said, it was about what those two men said. And I think about it like this. In 2004, the Steelers went 15-1. That defense was the #1 defense in the NFL. And that year, Coach Cowher was the head coach. In 2008, we won the Super Bowl. We were on the cover of ESPN, the magazine. And that defense as well was #1 in the NFL. The coach was Mike Tomlin, but the defensive coordinator was still Dick LeBeau. Those rooms go and take on the personalities of the coaches that you see and talk to and you are with every single day. And I believe we underestimated how much those coaches meant to the Detroit Lions.
RC, I agree with that, man. But in this case, the invitation is flattery. That's the approach that these coordinators need to take that's in Detroit, especially offensively. Like we talked earlier, the research. Put this graphic up, and I wanted to know what the production was from game one. Look at